Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Magic and welcome back to my channel. Now, the first thing I want to address is the fact that I have a cold, so my voice is probably going to sound a lot different than it usually will. It's probably be a little bit tinnier than usual, and it's probably going to change throughout the video. Anyways, so I'm going to be covering everything in the Exo Zombies Ascendance trailer. I will only be covering Exo Zombies. I won't be covering the multiplayer maps because I believe that everything the multiplayer maps is rather straightforward, and I really only want to cover the Exo Zombies part of this trailer. So the first thing that I want to look at is the fact that we have our 4 characters returning. This supports the fact that Atlas is just experimenting on these 4 people. They're putting them through different tests to see how they react. For some reason, we don't know what the reason is quite yet. Atlas is in fact testing on these 4 characters just to find something out. So moving on to the next thing, we get our first look at the Magnetron microwave gun, which will probably catch on as the microwave gun. Now, it is a directed energy weapon. It is similar to the EM1 because instead of ammo, the gun has a battery which counts down from 100% to 0%. And the effect of the gun is that it causes the zombies to cook from the inside out and explode. The next thing I want to hit on is the sewer monster. Now, people are coining this as the sewer gator, which is probably what it's going to be. Now, it's not necessarily friendly towards zombies, and I would assume it's not friendly towards the player either, because the clip that we see the alligator taking a big chomp out of a ton of zombies and not hurting the character, which probably means that it's not going to like zombies or the character most likely. I doubt if it's going to be friendly to us. It's probably just going to hate everyone equally as just an alligator. So we will most likely only see this alligator in the sewers, and we'll be talking about the sewers later in this video. Anyways, moving on to the next thing, we have civilian evacuation mode. Now, as you can see on the screen now, you see a civilian being pulled up on a rope into a helicopter. The entire goal of civilian evacuation mode is to save civilians and put them on a helicopter and then get them out. It's an interesting game mode, and it's obviously going to change up the pace of the game and your objectives. Moving on to the next thing, we will have a different style Easter egg. We will not be collecting keycards this time around because we do not see security clearance numbers on the character cards, meaning that we won't be collecting keycards, and it's just that simple, so hopefully this Easter egg will be a lot better than the last one. The next thing I want to hit on is green gas. Now, there seems to be a green gas that appears on the map randomly. We don't know when it will appear or anything like that, but this is a type of dynamic event that will probably cause players to leave an area for a certain amount of time or permanently. We can tell that this green gas is poisonous because you can hear the characters coughing, and maybe this green gas forces players to move into the basement and sewers of Burgertown. So maybe once this green gas comes out, you cannot return to the surface, and quite possibly maybe you have to evacuate all the civilians before this green gas appears because it appears to kill everyone. And once you get to the sewers, you're not really rescuing civilians anymore. Maybe we can still rescue civilians. Maybe they'll throw that curveball at us, but I most likely doubt that. Moving on to the next thing, we have the 2 new types of zombies. We have, first off, the Goliath. Now, the Goliath is a big zombie holding a stop sign and a shield, and he appears to be relatively fast, or at least that's what we can tell from this trailer. And we'll have to see if he spawns mid-round or if he has a round all to himself. Other than that, we really don't know much about him. And moving on to the next zombie, we have the Acid Dripper. Now, the zombie will supposedly spit or drip acid. Might be similar to the spitter in Left 4 Dead 2, and my guess is that these will spawn mid-round with regular zombies. And I just forgot about this zombie, but I just remembered it. We have the spike zombies. Now, they're zombies that have spikes that appear on them. I believe that they're going to be just regular zombies, except that maybe when you kill them, they might explode and shoot spikes everywhere. Other than that, I can't really think of anything that these things are going to do. But we have seen the spike zombies in this trailer, and I just thought it might be an interesting thing to point out. Moving on to the last thing I want to talk about the basement and the sewers of Burgertown. Now, one thing I want to address is the fact that this map is going to be considerably bigger, or at least it looks a lot bigger than the first Exo Zombies DLC map that we got. This is really big. It has 3 different levels to it, or at least 3 different levels that we know of so far. It has the main level, which is the Burgertown restaurant and the area surrounding it, and then it has a basement, and then below the basement there is a sewer where the alligator resides, which will probably try to kill you and the zombies. Anyways, so the basement's going to be an interesting thing because it's going to make the map a lot more dynamic than anything else, because you can see that the top part of the map where Burgertown is, it's a really vertical type style map, and then once we get down below, we're going to lose that verticality and probably play in a much more tighter area. Now, what I said before about the green gas is probably not true. They probably will not take us away from the area completely of the top once the green gas comes out. It will probably only be around for a certain amount of time and force you to go into the sewers or basement for a certain amount of time, and then you can return. We don't know quite yet about the green gas. It's just something interesting that I wanted to point out. And I think that this map is going to be really interesting, and it's definitely going to be better than the first Exo Zombies map that we got, because it's going to be a lot bigger and there's a lot more going on. And hopefully the Easter egg is going to be a lot more interesting. As I said before, there won't be any key cards in this one, so we won't have to collect key cards, because the first Easter egg was really centered around collecting key cards and getting that security clearance to be able to call a rescue ship and actually get out of there, which you actually don't. You actually end up apparently dying, but you don't really die. You actually just get taken out by the Atlas people that are experimenting on you. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I think I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a comment, tell me if you're going to be getting this map pack. Tell me if you have the season pass. Tell me if you're going to be getting the season pass. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'm out.